So you see, we've all been there, right? The oppressed, the oppressor. Not all of us have had to clean up puddles on government building floors, I assume. But that's what I'm going for, a cosmic common thread. And speaking of which, can we see, perhaps, what the next card holds? Parent, mommy, I'm a mother. I have 2 kids, and, you know, being a parent it's complicated, because I love my children, I do, but it's like, imagine, your life is like a neutral, benevolent little republic, and it's suddenly been invaded by very small, drunken dictators bent on world domination and more candy, less bedtime. It's like it's 1938, and my adult existence is Poland, and my children are the advancing and yet inevitable arm of the Third Reich. Did I just compare my kids to Hitler? Oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm sometimes a terrible mother. It's the dirty secret of parenthood, because we don't know what we're doing, but what we do know is anything we do will inevitably screw them up. I mean, today's joys of motherhood are tomorrow's sessions of therapy. I have to admit, I'm phoning in large swaths of my parental time card, and who can blame me? Because have you met children? They may seem impatient, but I have to tell you, they are playing a long-term game. They may not understand the concept of time, but they instinctively know they have more of it than you, and they have no qualms on the ways in which they wear you down. And you try explaining the codes of the Geneva Convention to your 6-year-old. I know, I read the parenting blogs, I peruse books, I understand that we have to be calm and patient and collected, but it feels like there's this never-ending battle between my sanity and my kids. I don't know, perhaps the best way to describe it would be through the medium of song. Wonders of modern technology. We're going to see if this works this time. And my apologies in advance to Mr. Sondheim for what I do to his work. Let me see. No, that's not it. That's it. So, I'm calm. I'm perfectly calm, utterly under control. I haven't a worry when others would hurry. I stroll. Wait, where are you going? Wait, hold mommy's hand. Don't you dare cross that street. I'm calm. I'm cool. A gibbering fool is something I seldom become. When thunder is rumbling and others are tumbling, I hum the itsy bitsy spider. Again. Be calm. Think comforting things. Handprint butterfly wings. Homemade keychains. Or family weekends. Family weekends, family dinners, family picture books. Look, I'm calm. I'm perfectly calm. I'm utterly under control. Nothing confuse me or face me. Excuse me, I'm calm. Shh. Oh, so come give me a second. Oh, so... Look, I just need 2 minutes to speak something. Can I stay on the phone? Wait, what are you doing to your brother right now? You get off of him. You know what? I've had enough of this. You see what the wheel holds, and it's... Oh. This makes me uncomfortable. I mean, it's not a polite dinner party question, in my opinion. And I don't think this is the right sign for it. This might be a bit better. I grew up in Texas, which of course means that I grew up in a church. One of those pitched roof steepled buildings where you spent all of your Sunday, every Wednesday night, and most of Saturday, if you were very fortunate. My mother worked, so we were not so fortunate. Praise Jesus. The church gave you a sense of community, what it's like to be a good Christian, a good Protestant Christian, because Protestantism was the only vein of Christianity that meandered through my sleepy little suburb. Catholicism was this exotic mysticism involving veils, incense, perpetually virgin Marys, and a shockingly party-like attitude to the communion services. There is real wine in that cup, people. Mormonism was something that existed in far-flung fantasy places like Middle Earth, also known as Utah. Judaism was, Judaism, based on my countless viewings of Fiddler on the Roof, was kind of like the Russian equivalent of the Amish, but with singing. The point I'm trying to make, that for all of my childhood, the Word was a Christian predestination God who was constantly in his heaven and always right in the world. Until you start to realize that there's an awful lot not right with the world. And if God is up there in his big celestial cubicle, he's on a 2-martini lunch break. And anyway, who really is, and if the Word is God, why are there so many representations or words for God? Can the real omnipotent, immortal please stand up? Before you realize, you're sitting there in a pew every Sunday, getting ready to say what you believe, only to discover that if you think about it, you really can't be sure what you do believe when you think of all these things together. Do you see? And there's a lot of confused you in one incredibly long run-on sentence. And if you're anything like me, now married into the Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, you sit there every Sunday with your various offspring. Stop that if you touch your brother one more time, I swear. And you get ready to recite an oath with a conviction that, to be honest, wouldn't even hold up in a court of law.
I believe in God, the Father Almighty.
Oh shit, we're supposed to be standing.
And in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, who am I to question a possible God's mother? And really what goes on in someone else's bedroom, especially a deity's, is none of my particular concern or business.
After Pontius Pilate was crucified, died, and was buried.
That sounds right.
He
Right.
ascended to the dead. On the third day, he rose again. He ascended into heaven.
Oh, yeah, this is a tricky part because I'm not exactly sure where I stand on this. I would like to believe it, and then I think about space and black holes and Star Trek-sized distances, and suddenly ascended to where no person has gone before. Doesn't seem right. We've moved on.
Judge the quick and the dead.
Well, I suppose an immoral alpha omega being can judge, but really, once being a highly formed immortal conscious has reached that particular level of Zen, would they judge? And how can I judge one way or the other? I am not even enlightened enough to work out percentages. I can't even tip correctly.
Communion of saints.
I mean, if I even sat down at a table of the Holy Trinity with a communion of saints, I would spend the entire time worrying what the exact 2.5% would be to express gratuity to the celestial waste staff.
The resurrection
Wait, where are we now? Oh, fine, I agree with all of this. I think, well, this has been around for a millennium, and all of those wise sages have to be correct, and who am I to say, because I used to think a skirt was a viable fashion object. So, it cannot be said that I do not defer to the wisdom of the ages, to the advice of my elders. So, let me stand and say, wait, is that right?